Hello and welcome. So today I want to share with you my top 10 picks. Recently it was my birthday and I did share with you over 30 fragrances that were either gifted to me or that I picked up during my birthday month. And today I want to start sharing with you my top picks. So I am starting by my 10 favorites currently because being that there are over 30 fragrances, I really haven't had a chance to try them all, but I've tried quite the number of them. I've sniffed them all, obviously, but you know how I like to thoroughly test and detailed, right? So today I'm ready to speak about 10 fragrances that are truly my top 10s right now. So today I'm going to be giving you a detailed review, of course, talking about notes and talking a little bit about how I feel about each scent and why it landed in this top 10 list. So let's go ahead and jump right in. But before we do so, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in, and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you today is from the spirit of Dubai, and this one is Diwan Gourmand. And here is the gorgeous and very, very different bottle. I mean, these bottles are just so different. Oh. Anyway, so the spirit of Dubai Diwan Gourmand is a scent that I had really wanted for so long because I had heard that it was much like all of the other fragrances from the spirit of Dubai. I had heard that it was a very different kind of gourmand. And wow, that is truly the truth about this scent. So this is a gourmand that while not making you smell like any specific dish, at least I can't relate it to any dish or any dessert that I've ever tried. This is truly a very yummy scent. But here's the thing. Typically when I say yummy, I'm speaking about, it gives you that yummy vibe. You feel all delicious and yummy, right? Even though you're not smelling necessarily like a specific dish. But here, this is a very elevated gourmand. I don't have any other way to describe it because truly it is what I would call an elevated gourmand. And at that, I want to say that this is a scent that you could make your signature scent. Even if you are not into gourmand fragrances, this is one that you may want to give a try. Now, this is a very complex olfactory journey kind of fragrance, so you have to make sure that you enjoy at least most of the notes because there's quite the number of them here. And I will share the notes with you. But here you have a collection. So this is a scent that to my nose opens up very fruity. You have some black currant, you have some plum, you have some dates. It is also warm, spicy from the get-go, and I clearly pick up on black pepper. And I also get in the opening like a touch of like a cacao note, but it's a little bit faint. For me, it is more about those fruity notes, but the fruitiness here is very balanced with quite a bit of woodiness because the opening, while I get those fruity notes, the opening is also very woody. There is quite a bit of woodiness here, which immediately sets the tone for this being, number one, a very unisex kind of scent, and number two, a very radically different kind of gourmand. To me, this would be like the interpretation of a gourmand fragrance coming out of the house of the spirit of Dubai. That's really what I've concluded it is. As the journey continues, you are clearly going to pick up on the oud. Now, the oud was present in the opening, but to my nose and on my skin, it was quite faint. The oud in this fragrance is to the tune of a 3 to 4, not barnyardish in any kind of way, more 3 than 4, with 1 being the least and 5 being the most. It is definitely more around the 3 mark, but it could cross over if you're not used to sniffing oud in a fragrance. It may come across to you as a level 4. So you have to be okay with that because the oud is definitely present. But interestingly enough, the oud does not detract from that yumminess that you get in this scent. Very, very beautiful gourmand that is quite different. You could make it your signature scent. To me, to pull off this fragrance, you need a certain level of maturity. I don't think that this is for someone in their 20s. To me, this is a 30 plus kind of fragrance. And I think it is perfection for like fall, winter, and spring. This is not one that I would pull during a hot summer day whatsoever. The performance is stellar because it borders on beast on my skin, giving me well over the 8-hour mark without having to overspray or respray. And I think that truly this is a unisex scent. Anyway, let us know if you've tried Diwan Gourmand and your thoughts. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you was not a part of my birthday haul because it is actually a fragrance that I had done a first impression for you during a Saturday morning chatty scents corner sniff and sip section. And this one is from Francesca Dell'Oro, and this is Vanille 8. And look at this gorgeous bottle. I mean, I am in love with the scent, but I have to tell you, the bottle is also so beautiful. So this is a fragrance that I had received a sample from Scent Split, and they so kindly sent me a full bottle, you know, because I told them that I absolutely fell in love immediately with this scent. So this is an incredibly beautiful vanilla-centric fragrance. If you are a vanilla fragrances lover and or collector, this is a must. And you guys know that I rarely use the word must, but this is such an exquisitely beautiful and different kind of vanilla. This is a fragrance that as soon as you sniff it, it's going to give you that incredibly beautiful vanilla scent. But the vanilla is not a cooking vanilla. It's more of like a floral, fresh, without being for summer only kind of vanilla. When I say fresh, what I mean is that it is airy. There's a certain degree of airiness to it. And I do recall that there are some solar notes in the opening that have been disclosed, and maybe that's what I get because it's like an entire feel immediately from the opening. There is an airiness, but the vanilla is definitely very present. This is not a very sweet vanilla-centric scent, but it is definitely sweet. It does have some spicy notes, some fruity notes, and definitely a floral presence. But when I tell you that this is just incredible, I also really do love the way that it projects because it has a very strong projection. During the first almost 2 hours of wear, it will give you a full day wear to the tune of 7 to 8 hours. And it has an incredible sillage that will get you compliments. Absolutely in love with this scent. I can't speak highly enough about it. Let us know if you've tried this Francesca Dell'Oro Vanille 8 because she also has a Vanille 12, which I also love, and I can't wait to share that one with you. And, you know, have you tried any of the Francesca Dell'Oro fragrances? Because now I'm very curious about this fragrance house. But anyway, absolutely loving Vanille 8. To me, this is one that you could definitely make your signature scent. And please do not be concerned that just because the name is Vanille 8, is it really designed just for daytime wear? Because that's really not the case. This one you can dress up, you can dress down for just about any occasion. And I think that it is a very, very versatile and easy pull kind of fragrance. All right, so next I'm going to share with you a fragrance from a fragrance house that is very new to my collection. I just decided, you know, during my birthday month that I wanted to try a couple of fragrance houses, and I did order a couple of discovery sets, and then I ended up picking up a couple of their bottles. And one of them was from Scents of Wood, and this one is my favorite. I picked up 3 fragrances from Scents of Wood, and this one, Vanilla in Armagnac, is my favorite. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous bottle. I just think this is so different, so unique, and so beautiful. So Vanilla in Armagnac is definitely a scent that focuses on the note of vanilla, but also Armagnac, is my understanding, is supposed to be like brandy. And the fragrance, while it is boozy, it's not very boozy, but at that it is absolutely beautiful. It opens very citrusy. This is such an addictive scent. I am telling you right now, if you get yourself a sample of this, you will immediately just be hooked on it, because that's what happened to me. But the opening is citrusy, bordering on zesty. It's not a freshie whatsoever, because in the opening, you're also going to get a blast of that vanilla. And I immediately pick up on a tad of that booziness, which only increases as the journey goes on. There's also here some spicy notes. I pick up clearly on cinnamon. I don't even remember if they disclosed that, but to me, there's definitely a spicy, warm, spicy presence to this scent. And of course, at the dry down, you are going to get that boozy vanilla on a backdrop of some woody notes. And the woody notes are a bit creamy. But when I tell you that this is a fragrance that if there, there's been so many new releases this year, and I've picked up quite a number of them, but I have to tell you that this is one that has really stood out because it is absolutely beautiful. This is a scent that I can't speak highly enough of. It is so, so beautiful. The way that they've combined the vanilla and then combined it with those woody notes and those spicy notes, and then that bit of a zesty quality, absolutely beautiful. And it also performs perfectly because it does give me a full day wear, and it does have a beautiful sillage that will get you compliments. But all in all, this is a very addictive scent. And I think that it is perfection for spring, winter, fall, and you may even get away with wearing it on not a very hot summer day. That's just my opinion. Let us know if you've tried vanilla in Armagnac or any of these scents of wood fragrances, and which one is your favorite. Next, I have for you from Montale, and this one is Dallachai. And here is the very, very different and cute bottle. I just find these so different and cute and like very creative. I mean, how did they think about this? But anyway, so Dallachai is a fragrance that was launched in 2024. And from the beginning, I knew that I wanted it. There was just something that was telling me, Arahi, just pick it up. But I started to look at reviews and read up on reviews. And, there were mixed reviews. And I just went along and I never picked it up. Fast forward now in 2025, a month before my birthday, the Montale team did reach out and they sent me this one and another one that was just launched in 2025. And I have to tell you that right now, I could kick myself for not having picked up this fragrance from the beginning, because this is absolute perfection. The thing about it is that it is not a common scent. It is not a crowd pleaser. It is not polarizing, but it is not a scent that I think just everybody will love. But if you are into the notes that I'm going to share, you definitely at least want to try this fragrance, because for me, it is absolutely incredible and perfection for the fall, winter, and spring seasons. The thing about this scent is that you're going to find some spicy notes which bring quite a bit of warmth to it. You're going to find the note of passion fruit. There's the note of milk, and then there's some coffee. And at the dry down, you're going to get an ambery, beautiful, beautiful ambery scent that is also lactonic, not crazy lactonic, but it is definitely lactonic. You are going to pick up on the coffee. The coffee is a little bit faint at the dry down, but you're definitely going to pick up on it, but it's not going to make you smell like a barista. And you are going to get that spicy quality that is just absolute perfection. But when I tell you, and of course, as a Montale fragrance, it is beast mode on my skin. It is one that, again, I think is perfection for cool weather. I don't think I would ever pull this during a hot summer day whatsoever. And I think it is very versatile because you could dress it up or down. I personally would not wear this fragrance, for an occasion where I know that I'm going to be perspiring, because it can be a bit much. But other than that, this is an incredible, incredible fragrance. I am telling you, get your nose on it because you are going to thank me. The next fragrance is from a fragrance house that I absolutely love and that I have discussed here on the channel with you several times. Not this specific fragrance, but I do own a couple of other fragrances from Ramon Monegal. But today I want to talk to you about Ole. Now, when I first started my Ramon Monegal journey, I started with a fragrance that has become a lifer for me, and that is flamenco. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I am radically in love with flamenco. But Ole is trying to take over. This is, when I tell you, this is incredible. This is a fragrance that opens up very fruity, but the fruitiness is like sexy fruitiness. It's like an intense, dark fruitiness that is also sexy. You have some pineapple, you have some raspberry, if I recall correctly, and you have the note of dates. And all of those three notes have their own role in that opening because it's not like one takes over the other. The pineapple, I must say, is quite present, and after the opening, the pineapple remains, and the other two become a bit faint and fall into the background. I will tell you that what I love about this fragrance is that there's a floral presence here. I clearly pick up on the note of like orchid. There's some woodiness here. At the dry down, you are going to get an exquisitely beautiful floral fruity scent on a backdrop of some very nicely done woody notes and a beautifully done vanilla. There's not a lot of vanilla here, but there's definitely vanilla. And at the dry down, you're going to pick up clearly on that exquisite blend. This is, when I tell you, if you are a lover of flamenco, the intensity of flamenco, how it just adds like a pep to your step and makes you feel empowered, you have to get your nose on Ole, because I think that you are going to absolutely fall in love. This one does border on beast on my skin, but that's been my case with Ramon Monegal because I have flamenco, I have faisa and others, and they all seem to border on beast on my skin. I have to be very careful to not overspray. To me, this is one that you could probably get away with wearing all seasons of the year, just not on a very, very hot summer day, especially if you're going to be outside, because this is an intense fragrance, just like everything Ramon Monegal does. But anyway, absolutely loving it. To me, this is unisex, but leaning a tad to the feminine side though. Anyway, let us know if you tried Ole or any of the Ramon Monegal fragrances, and how do you feel about them? What do they make you feel? Because for me, this fragrance house is all about the feel. Moving on. So before we move on, I just have to say the following, because I did promise myself that next time I shared with you these fragrances or talked about this type of fragrances where not all of them have been rated super high, I was going to tell you the following. Just make sure that you just don't follow what others say is incredible or what others say is not incredible. You know, when it comes to fragrances, you just need to get your nose on them and really see how you feel about the fragrances. Not only how it reacts to your skin chemistry, but how do you feel about it? What does it make you feel when you sniff it? Because there's been several fragrances in this lineup that I did not pick up from the beginning because I allowed myself to be dissuaded by, what others had to say about it and some reviews. And at the end of the day, now I am trying the fragrance and I'm thinking to myself, I could really kick myself because I really do love this fragrance. And I don't care if it's been rated 3 or if it's been rated 2. I think that it is a 5. And I have to tell you, that is the case with Born to Stand Out Fig Porn. Now, let me just say, Fig Porn for me is an incredibly beautiful fig-centric fragrance. Here, the fig note has been accompanied by some fruity notes, by some florals. It is a very ambery scent and it has a good bit of woodiness. But I don't know what is it about this specific scent that has me on a chokehold, because when I tell you this is a fig scent with such a degree of personality. I can't even explain it. And you guys know that I've been on my fig era, so I have quite the number of fig-centric fragrances right now. But this one, this is not like anything else. And you know what I have learned in a short, amount of time about Born to Stand Out is that their fragrances are really different. They really do stand out. And Fig Porn is no different. This is absolutely incredible. This is a scent that will definitely command attention, by the way, and it does border on beast on my skin. It really is a very, very strong scent, but I have to tell you, from the first moment I started wearing it, I started to get compliments immediately. This is a scent that not only performs beautifully, not only gets you compliments, but I am telling you, if you are a fig fragrances lover, this is one that you want to get your nose on because it is completely different than any other fig scent that I have in my collection. Absolutely beautiful. I think that this is very much unisex. I think it is perfect for just about any season of the year, just not on a very hot summer day if you're going to be outside, because it is beast. It is like, and it projects like, I can't even explain to you. It projects like crazy. But anyway, let us know if you've tried Fig Porn and how you feel about it. Next, I have for you a fragrance from Atelier Materi that immediately captured my heart. I knew that I wanted it for the longest time, but to be honest with you, I was waiting for, the price to go down for me to find it at a discounter, but it never came up at a discounter. So I ended up paying full price for it. But I tell you, it was worth every penny. And I am speaking about Neroli Hasbaya. And this is part of the Extracts collection of Atelier Materi. So this bottle is smaller than the typical ones. But when I tell you, this is the most incredible orange blossom and pistachio scent you could possibly imagine. I don't think that there is anything else in my collection that will ever surpass this combination. But you have to be seriously into the notes of orange blossom and neroli because it is really about that. But that nuttiness, that pistachio is so present, and it makes the scent rather rich and sophisticated and beautiful. I can't even explain it. This is a scent that will get you so many compliments. It will really create conversation around you. You are going to feel beautiful and empowered when you wear this scent because it is truly very, very different. But at that, it is just exquisite. You are going to be sniffing yourself. You're going to be reaching out and just sniffing yourself. It opens with an incredible note of orange blossom, immediately surrounded by a very nutty accord. As the journey continues, you're going to clearly distinguish that it is pistachio. I know that there's other nuts involved here, but for me, it is all about, again, the orange blossom and the pistachio. You are going to get orange blossom in the opening throughout the entire journey, and you're going to get it at the dry down. Okay, it is really, when it comes to the florals, it is all about the orange blossom and the neroli, truly. And when it comes to that nutty quality, it is about the pistachio. You're also going to get at the dry down a bit of musk. The musk is not animalic. To me, it's like a level 2 to 3, more 3 than 2, but it's not animalic. And you're also going to get on the backdrop some creamy woodiness. But when I tell you, this scent is absolutely exquisite. And you can wear it for any occasion, day or night. I plan to wear this all year. You could make this your signature scent. This is just an incredibly beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Let us know if you tried Neroli Hasbaya and your thoughts. Now, this next one I did share with you as part of my birthday haul, and it is from Mind Games. And this one is one of the 2 recent launches. They launched Check Please, and they also launched Playmate. And this one is Check Please. And here is the gorgeous bottle. Now, I have to tell you, Check Please is a deep love for me at this point. I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. This is so different. This opens with a beautifully done apple note that now I can pick up on clearly. But in addition to that apple, there's a nuttiness that comes in from a beautifully done note of hazelnut. I don't really pick up on any other nuts. I only pick up on the hazelnut. There's also some cinnamon that I get clearly. There is a floral presence, but it's not like I can clearly distinguish it. But what I can tell you is that there's a beautifully done note of plum. And you guys know how I love a good note of plum. But here, it is absolute perfection. But at the dry down, you are going to get the most incredibly beautiful, ambery, woody, with a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of spice to it, scent that is perfection for the fall, winter, and opening of spring seasons. I don't think that this is one that you should wear, even though you can wear whatever you want, when you want, and how you want. But I just think that this is best suited for cooler weather. It is absolutely beautiful. It speaks to like wealth and opulence and sophistication. There is just something about the vibe of this fragrance when you wear it. It is going to automatically make you feel a certain kind of way. The performance is beautiful because it does give me a full day wear. It's not a beast mode scent, in any kind of way on my skin, but it does give me a full day wear with a very strong projection during the first a little bit over the 2-hour mark, and then it goes into a scent bubble. But towards the end of the day, it is definitely an intimate skin scent. But at that, this is also one that will garner you quite the number of compliments. A beautiful, beautiful creation. Yet another one from Mind Games, which you guys know I love Mind Games, but not everything has worked for me, but this one I'm absolutely loving. Now, Playmate, in case you're wondering, I'm still working on that one, trying to wrap my head around it and trying to understand it. But this one, this is a love, 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 deep love. I highly recommend that you try to get yourself a sample or a decant or get your nose on it because they are quite pricey, but I will have a link to all of these fragrances in the description box, and I do have a discount code for, I think, almost all of them. And this is definitely one that I also have a discount code for you. Anyway, let us know if you've tried Check Please and your thoughts. So this next fragrance is from a fragrance house that is also new to my collection this year, but I have been on a roll. It just seems to me that I think I've only tried one fragrance from all of the fragrances, I think their entire range at this point, that I have tried that I really did not enjoy. But when I tell you this next one, this is one of my top favorites. And this one is Fruit du Paradis, and this is from Sasva. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous bottle. Beautiful, beautiful bottle. It feels very luxurious, incredible experience. But it's not just the bottle. This scent is so addictive and so gloriously beautiful. And it's interesting because when I first read the notes of this fragrance without trying the scent, I thought to myself, this is going to be more like a warm weather fragrance. But no, for me, this is an all year round type of scent for sure. The fragrance opens very fruity, but fruity in like a citrusy, zesty kind of way. To my nose, there's a very clear note of lime, not lemon, but lime, but it has been paired beautifully with the sweetness of the fruitiness of the opening. So it's not overpowering or anything like that. Believe me, there is nothing screechy about the DNA of this fragrance house. Everything seems to be such an exquisitely done blend that takes into account allowing every note and accord and tonality to have its place in the journey and at the dry down. That is what I love about Sasva. But as the journey continues, you're going to pick up on very specific fruits, pomegranate, mango. I don't pick up on the pomegranate too much, but I pick up on the mango. There is also a floral presence here. To me, it's white florals. It's a white floral bouquet. I'm not picking up specifically on a specific floral. And at the dry down, you are going to get, I pick up like on a bit of like a warm spiciness and of course, woodiness. And when I tell you this is perfection for cool weather, warm weather, hot weather, signature scent, whatever you want to make it. What I do recommend is that you please get your nose on it. You're missing out on such an incredible scent. At least try it. Get yourself a small sample. I will leave a link to where you can get a sample of this fragrance, a decant, whatever you want to do, but don't miss out on Sasva. And from Sasva, Fruit du Paradis is definitely a top recommendation of mine. Absolutely love it. Let us know if you've tried any of the Sasva fragrances. Which one is your favorite? What is it that you love about it? Or what is it that you did not enjoy in that one or multiples that you've tried? Now, you guys know that I've been on a roll this year trying new fragrance houses, and this last fragrance is from a fragrance house that is new to my collection. And I have to tell you, every single fragrance, and I have at this point, I think 4 or 5 bottles, but every single fragrance that I have tried has become a love. But this next one, this is the deep love of all of the deep loves. And this one is from ONNO, and this is One and Only. And here is the gorgeous bottle that I've shared with you before. This bottle so impresses me because there is something so minimalist about it and so elegant and sophisticated, a true reflection of what you're going to get in the scent. Let me just start by saying that this is very much a unisex scent. I find that with their fragrances, all of the fragrances that I own from ONNO or that I've tried are all truly very much unisex. So you have to enjoy a unisex scent. To some of you that are not really into unisex fragrances, you may find that this leans a tad to the masculine side, but to me, this is truly a unisex fragrance. Now, the thing about One and Only is that it has a beautifully done note of lavender that will capture you immediately in the opening. There's no denying it. It opens with that lavender. There's also some citrusy notes here. I clearly pick up on like orange or mandarin. I can't remember, but that's what I get. Mandarin or orange with that lavender. And you are going to get the note of geranium later in the journey. But that geranium, it's very interesting because to me, the geranium comes in like a little bit sweet. That is a totally new type of experience for me because I'm not even too much of a fan of the note of geranium. But in One and Only, I have become a lover of geranium because the way it's been done is just beautiful. There's also some spicy notes here. So there is a certain degree of warmth to the scent. It is warm, spicy, and it is musk based. The musk here is to the tune of a 3 to 4, more 3 than 4, but it is definitely a present musk, but it's not animalic in any kind of way. I tell you, this is a scent that is perfection. Like if there is a scent that you and your partner want to take on holiday or that you want to share, I would say that this is perfection. This is so, so beautiful on my skin, but it is also incredibly like addictive. I can't even explain it to you. It is so, so, so addictive. It is a scent that initially, when I read the notes and I started to work on it, I thought, oh, this is going to be more masculine leaning, but it's really not. This will definitely take you by surprise, but I find that to be the case with most of the ONNO fragrances that I've tried. Anyway, but I think that this is perfection for just about any season of the year, truly, because that lavender also brings a certain degree of airiness to the scent overall. You can wear it for any occasion. This is not one that I would bring to the office because it may be a bit much because it is very intense. It is beast mode on my skin for sure. It exceeds the 10-hour mark easily without having to overspray, but that has been my experience with most, if not all, ONNO fragrances, so you know. They are truly beast mode, and you are going to get a very strong projection that exceeds the 2-hour mark, and then it does become a scent bubble. And that scent bubble will take you all throughout your day of wear. And then at the very, very end, when you don't even remember what you're wearing anymore, it becomes an intimate skin scent, but you're still going to get whiffs of yourself throughout the day. Anyway, let us know if you've tried any ONNO fragrance and your thoughts. All right, fam. So we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was enjoyable for you. When I shared with you my birthday haul, I told you that within the next couple of weeks, I would circle back and share with you a detailed review of all of the fragrances that we've discussed. This is the first video where I cover these are my top 10 right now, and I'm going to continue testing and trying, and I will of course continue to circle back and bring you detailed reviews of all of those 30 plus fragrances. I hope that this was enjoyable for you and that I was able to answer all of your questions. If not, you know where to find me. As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.